only had 12 points through 3 quarters against the Jazz yesterday. Kawhi then went on to drop 18 points in the 4th quarter to lead the Clippers to an 11-point win. And after the game, Doc Rivers clarified some previously made comments about Kawhi and Michael Jordan, saying that he was mostly referring to their body types. So, Shannon, do you see any comparison between Kawhi and MJ?
No, stop saying, Skip. Michael Jordan in his prime was 6'6", 195. Kawhi Leonard is 6'7", 230.
Yeah.
That's like saying, well, Ed Too Tall Jones and Calais Campbell are the same. Just because they're tall, that doesn't mean they're the same type. Not to stop.
I think in '98, that last year in Chicago, I think he's more 215-ish.
Maybe 205, Skip. Now, maybe 215-ish in Washington.
Maybe.
Maybe 220.
For different reasons?
Maybe 220 in Washington. Yeah. Skip, look. You can't just say because the man got big hands, okay, Jordan. Really? Skip, did you do? You know what, look. I say LeBron the GOAT, but people just forget. People just need to go YouTube clips and see how many things that guy did that reminds them of Kawhi. Or what Kawhi's doing that reminds them of Jordan. Kawhi can't fly through the air. Kawhi was not taking the guy. Michael was going to the hole, dunking on folks. His first 7-8 years, Michael was going to the hole. Kawhi get a fast break and he'll put in his left hand and dunk. No, Michael was dunking on Tree Rollins. Michael was dunking on whomever.
Yeah.
Trimmer, Melvin Turpin. When he was in Utah, Skip, he dunked on John Stockton, and the guy said, dunk on somebody your own size. Where he jumps on Melvin Turpin, they call him the Trimmer. He's like, what about him? He big enough for you?
Yep.
No, stop it. Kawhi is not nothing. And you know it too. If you're gonna be honest, Skip Bayless, if you're gonna be honest today, be honest.
You know, this is the first time ever that I do not find it complete blasphemy to compare at least a small part of one player's game to Michael Jordan. And that small part is the claw's ability to one-hand the ball.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And go up and hang, because he can be an explosive leaper.
Yes.
And hang and shoot that little one-handed 8, 10, 12-foot jump shot and just nail it like clockwork. And that's what he was doing in large part to Utah last night, because he just took over the game in the 4th quarter and scored 18 points, and he made 2 straight threes that just broke the game open.
Oh, so what we're gonna do about Trez? And we're gonna talk about Trez?
Obviously, he's got a really good team, because it's better than the Lakers right now. Wait until Paul George comes.
Whoa. Yeah. Y'all 5-2. What's our record? What's our record?
Well, it should be something.
No, it should. Louis, Skip, look. I get it. So, I mean, when someone says Kobe, yes. Kobe Bryant, I mean, from the footwork to the getting to the paint, the fall away, oh, yes, that's all MJ. Now Kawhi Leonard, he gets the ball, he holds it out there like Joe, because he has humongous hands.
He does.
Yeah.
And now he reminds me of Jordan.
But guess what? Doc's original comments about how he was Jordan-esque, Jordan-like, that's why Kawhi signed with the Clippers, because he was he was in awe that Doc would say that about him.
So we should have lied to him.
Guess what? It cost Doc a bunch of money because he got fined for those.
So we should have lied to him.
Yep, you should have lied to him.
We should have lied. Kawhi, you Jordan.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, we're going to give you 23.
Yep.
There you Stop it, Skip Bayless. You know good where that man don't remind nobody of no Jordan.
Boy, he looked pretty Jordan-esque in the 4th quarter. I don't know. I'm still not convinced about his ability to make the last second shot, the shot of the game. Not sold on that yet, but man, when he gets Paul George back, you are.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out how does a guy that scored and he had the 3rd plus minus on his own team. JaMychal Green was 30. Trez Harrell was plus 24.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure that. Now,
4th quarter.
We got to move on from this,
the last two games, Bron.
4th quarter took it over.
15 plus 15.
Wow.
Enough
of
of a comparison for now.
LeBron disappeared last night in the 4th quarter, and Kawhi took it over.
And he reappeared with a dub.
Enough of those two for now, because it's Monday night, which means Monday Night Football. And Skip's Cowboys finally back in action. They're taking on the Giants. How confident is Dak and Belichick take any heat for letting his son call the defense?
No, because he didn't take any heat for the first 8 games when they was on his historic pace. And Skip, this is what normally happens. If you have what people think are a great offense or a great defense, and it struggles, what's the first thing? Is this the right man for the job? They said that when Freddie K was making all them calls last year, Freddie K was good. Skip, Mike Shanahan went through the same thing when he was in Washington. Kyle Shanahan was calling the plays. Kyle Shanahan was probably 31, 32 years of age. Kyle got his first offensive coordinator job at 28 when he was calling plays for the Houston Texans under Gary Kubiak, who got his start up under Mike Shanahan. And I get the nepotism thing, Skip, but at the end of the day, can you do the job? How old is Sean McVay? Should Sean McVay be calling plays, Skip, at 31, 32 years of age?
This year, that becomes questionable. Go ahead.
No,
That's a good point.
No, it's just because Seattle's playing out of their mind. Look, he's been in the organization for like 7, 8 years. He was an assistant, and then the last couple of years, he's been the safeties coach.
Yep.
And so there's a gradual progression, and most guys, Eric Mangini started that way, Josh McDaniels started that way. Normally, Skip, they don't bring guys from the outside and give them titles. They promote from within. And so this seems to me like a promotion from within. But I can get it. You know, they had been giving up average 14 points a game. They've shut out a couple of teams, and then you give up 30 last night. So for me, no one should be concerned. Coach, I trust Coach Belichick, and you didn't have concerns when they were shutting people out, when they was averaging giving up 6 points a game. Nobody raised an alarm. But now they give up 30 in one game, and now everybody's concerned. So no one should be concerned.
Here's why I think they should be concerned is because Belichick tried to slip his son into the coordinator position and the play caller position under the radar. He did not own it the way Mike Shanahan owned. Kyle Shanahan is the coordinator.
Right.
He's going to call plays.
Okay.
And I don't know why from camp forward he just didn't say, because he is Bill Belichick.
Right. Just say it.
Just say it. Just say, my son Steve, he's ready. He's ready for this position.
And even if he's not ready, so what?
Okay.
True.
If I got Skip, it's like anything. If a coach hires a coach or player, who takes the blame? The head coach. You brought him in, so you hired that OC.
Okay.
You hired that DC, so you got to wear it. So if he hires his son, okay, you're the D coordinator, and it doesn't go well, Coach Belichick, you got to own it.
Okay.
It's simple.
Now he's the stealth coordinator because not until CBS's game a week ago did they start to focus on him on the sideline and slow it down a little bit to say, is he speaking? It looks like he's covering his mouth and speaking when it's time to call the defensive signal,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So it's really only been 2 weeks of this. And finally, the Boston Herald this past Friday wrote a big story. Looks like he's the guy.
Right.
And quoted some of the players. Oh, he's been great for us because they were riding high.
Right.
But the 2 games that we know he called plays for and coordinated were the Cleveland game and now the Baltimore game.
Right.
And I got to tell you, the defense got gashed on the ground in both games.
Right.
They got away with it against Cleveland because they won, 27-13.
Right.
And yet, all of a sudden, Nick Chubb was running wild. He got 130-something, and they had 159 total.
And they gave that, well, I give him, Coach Belichick gave that lame excuse. Well, I give him like 4 or 5 plays, and sometimes the players.
Yeah,
Skip,
he was giving an excuse like he was letting them call the plays.
No, they're not.
Really?
You know, sometimes, Skip, if the play don't get called in, the defensive captain's like, okay, we're going to play this, let's go ahead and play this coverage here and move on. But as far as just like, okay, we got 5 or 6 options, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And Coach Belichick, who wants control over everything, is going to give up control?
I think it was about 3 weeks ago that Steve was asked, how much are you contributing to play calling? He said, not at all. And it looked like Gerard Mayo was the new coordinator during camp, during the early season. It looked like he was calling the defense. So I don't know if Gerard's real happy about this.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. The difference is Steve has been in the organization for like 8 years. This is Gerard Mayo's first year as an assistant coach.
Okay. No, that's true. He's fast-tracked up.
Right. Oh, yeah.
They're about the same. I think Gerard's 33 to his 32.
Right.
Steve Belichick.
Right.
But now you got all kinds of new bye-week soap opera because we also heard last week Bill Belichick say, well, that thing that I said about I'm not going to coach into my 70s, he took it back last week and said, well, now that I'm closer to that age, I may go forward. And then what did Al Michaels say on the you don't listen to sound, so you should hear this. Al Michaels last night said this about Tom Brady. Can we hear that, please?
Brady, 42 years old. You know, he said he wants to play till he's 45. Told us last night, you know what? I feel good enough to play 5 more years. We'll see.
5 more years. So all of a sudden, in fact, I predicted this last week off the Belichick. I said, watch Brady up his ante.
They're going to go back.
So
now it's
47 now.
47. So Belichick's saying, I'm going to coach into my 70s. Tom says, well, check this. I'm going to play until I'm 47 now.
Coach Belichick said, well, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think I'll be here till I'm 80. And they're going to keep going. And pretty soon you're going to have an 80-year-old head coach and a 60-year-old quarterback.
60-year-old quarterback still vying for authority, right? For control of the franchise.
But I think that, Skip, look, this happens. Skip, we know how this works. Okay, Gary Kubiak I played with Kube as a player. He was my offensive coordinator. He got it started under Mike
Shannon. He's just a backup
He
quarterback.
was just a backup quarterback, yeah. Okay. Kyle's on his staff. You don't think that was a favor? That's how it works. I mean, you think, I had no idea who that guy was. Most of these coaches, Skip, that's why they get recirculated, because they know somebody that knows somebody.
That is